Hey Nerds, this is Australia's biggest regional solar farm, 184,000 panels at Mica Creek near Mount Isa. So can one of these, and some of these are being built near Hughenden and all along that western corridor, can they be used to power one of these? A refining plant. Well, and of course after that you can make some of this. Now, a lot of the batshittery people say, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. Well, the people who live in this town, Mount Isa, are putting their money where their mouth is. They say it can. Let's look into it further. Let's rock. Well, folks, dropping in from geostationary orbit, here's the beautiful little town of Mount Isa. And it is a little town, but I think it's beautiful. I've been there once or twice. And we're dropping in now to see this Mica Creek solar precinct. All those cleared paddocks you see in front of you there are now covered in solar panels, which you'll see in some still photography in a moment. And yeah, it's a big farm, 184,000 panels, 80 megawatts of generating capacity. That's Mica Creek there. And I thought I'd show you this. This is the old power station that is now being decommissioned, scrapped. And over in the background there you can see the new power station, which runs on LPG, I think. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's have a look at the details. Here we are, folks, 184,000 panels. That's the new power station. That's the old power station in the background. Here they are, heading off in the distance. So much for the old, oh, these solar farms, they're taking up all of our good farming land. I'm no farmer, but that does not look like primary agricultural land to me. So anyway, it's a great place to put it. 184,000 panels, I said, about 88 megawatts of output, and it's primarily to run these things. All the mining plants around Mount Isa, even though they've shut the mine down, the smelters, and there's plants producing concentrates and stuff. There it is looking towards the south. It's a big farm. It's lovely. Look at that, hey? And the day they opened it, it rained. But anyway. So here we are. There's two other power stations in Mount Isa. There's one called the Diamantina Power Station and a Leichhardt Power Station. This is the minerals precinct up there. This is where it's going to run. And there's lots of these things up there. They dig holes in the ground. You don't need a whole lot of power to run a mine, but you do need a lot of power if your mine fills up with water, which has actually happened more than once. So here we go. This is the use. Just point at the industrial bit, 86%. This is not there to be running anything. This is another solar farm they want to build up there. This melts sodium and salt. The original power station, coal-fired, no longer in use, decommissioned, of course. This is the new power station. Oh, it's gas-fired, beautiful, shiny new gas-fired power station. Look at that. You never see these in the photos, do you? There it is from the road. It's a very good piece of technology. I'm not a big, fossil fuel guy, but it can only be there because of this. This is a gas pipeline that runs for, thousands of kilometres to get there. It comes from way down here, from the Jenner pipeline coming out of the gas fields, and comes up there and connects Mount Isa, obviously not just for this power station. Here's the current power grid in Mount Isa. It's completely disconnected from the rest of Australia, but things are going to change. Coperstring, there you go. They want to join the grid from Mount Isa because they want to build more of these. Because around Hughenden and places like that, there's great places to build wind power. But of course you've got to be able to get it back onto the grid, haven't you? So, yeah, I've had all the arguments. These things are worth doing. They don't kill the cattle, Look at the size of these things. That's a 285, that's the height the restaurant at Mount Cootha is. These are big. So are these. Transmission lines, of course, you're going to make this power. You've got to send it somewhere. There's no point having it. This is Australia's electricity grid, or East Australia's. From way the buggery up in the South Australian deserts, right the way through to Cooktown, And what they want to do is this. See how their algorithm takes the copyright off that one. So here's Bob with a windmill behind him, and Shane Kemp there. No one turns his nose up like Bob. And you know, you got to have politicians like this around, but not too many of them. There is only one Bob. Anyway, here's, oh look at those cattle, they're not dead. I don't know how that worked. So yeah, agriculture and wind farming can work hand in hand. Would I want one in my backyard? No, this is hardly someone's backyard. Just look at the place. It's grazing land. It can still be used as grazing land. Here's that solar farm, after it rained obviously, being knocked together. These are awesome, they don't really do any damage. Here's that power station when it was just being built. The new Diamantina power station, 285 megawatts actually, which is, you know, as I said, shiny. You've never seen a power station looking that good. And there's a 60 megawatt gas turbine one over the road, quick response. This is the Dungold, the Dungold River mine. Now, this is the primary customer for these things. I assure you, they don't need a 80 megawatt power station to run the houses in Mount Isa. It's to run these things. And obviously these people aren't stupid, they know the future. Carbon credit shears are coming. And this produces zinc and lead concentrate, this mine. Well, folks, here we go. This is the bit where we light up the comments and we start losing subscribers. So, wind farms. Oh, these things are hopeless. They never produce the power it takes to manufacture them. Solar panels, look at them. They're just rubbish, by the way. They're probably still producing power lying there like that. Crazy stuff. They're just landfill. It's all rubbish. And, of course, we've all seen the photos on the press, particularly certain press, of all these wind farms being put in landfills. Oh no, it's all garbage. These things are they're just terrible. They're a blot on the landscape. Well, you know, their structures of these wind farms and solar panels, they're not too different to another structure we make called modern aircraft. No one's complaining about that. Let's stop making aeroplanes. Look, they're a blot on the landscape. They all end up in landfills. Modern aeroplanes are exactly the same. Composite structures, they have a lifetime. When their lifetime's over, they're finished. And it's not an American thing. You may still be able to see the symbols on the tails of these aeroplanes waiting to be scrapped in the United States. So some people, not mentioning names, would have us build more coal-fired power stations like this. Now, they had their time. They're a great idea. And you shouldn't be knocking them down until their time's up, because that's a waste of resources. This is Callide B. You'll notice the smoke out of one stack only, because the other one blew up. They're still fixing it. But anyway, we'll get to that. This is fly ash. This is in the Hunter Valley. This stuff is toxic. This is fly ash. This is down in Lake Macquarie. This stuff is toxic. Every power station produces it. What are we going to do with it? Well, we dumped it in Northey Street, and the council had spent millions digging it all out because it's toxic. It's got some sort of horrible red chemical in it. They're not sure. But anyway, I got a better idea. Now here's Plutonium Pete. Now he wants to build small-scale modular nuclear reactors. Small scale means 300 megawatts or less. This is a 1 megawatt nuclear reactor, and it's about to come up to full power. That blue stuff is Cherenkov radiation caused by neutrons hitting the water. Now, this is not dangerous, it's wonderful, but as this thing goes on in life, it produces plutonium. It just has to. And eventually the plutonium builds up to a point where the fuel's useless, it has to be changed, and then that fuel is processed, plutonium's removed, and new U-235's put in there, and away we go. Nuclear fuel reprocessing. Small-scale nuclear reactors, the only place to get them to work so far is Russia. Here's Russia's on a boat, actually a great idea, and China. I think they've missed the meaning of the word small, because it doesn't look small to me. But you know, the safety standards in those countries, okay. Here's the old moon pool. This is not LED mood lighting. This is Cherenkov radiation coming out of the storage pools in France and England of their nuclear fuel that they have absolutely no idea what to do with. Even a glove or something that's been touched has to go into stuff like this. None of it gets disposed of. So when you get a politician starts leaning on these technologies, and you know, they all do, don't get me, I'm pretty down on some of them because they keep rabbiting on all the time. This is the energy amortization. And this is construction, operation and disposal. Wind. 5 to 8 months, you get your energy back. Hydro, 9 to 13 months. Solar, 1 to 2 years. Natural gas, never. Never. Nuclear, never. Right? Because, of course, it's pulling the energy out of the ground. It's using stored energy from the ground. You'll never, ever get it back. And the nuclear, you can never know you're going to beat it because no one's ever worked out how much it's going to cost to get rid of the bloody waste. So, you know, that's not really worth doing in the long term. The one thing I can tell you for sure is this problem won't be solved by any of these numbnuts. No chance. Probably make it worse. It'll be solved by these people. Well, okay, they're a little bit village people, I will admit. They're a bit clean, but you know what I mean. The workers, the people out there, and that dirt's just strategically in the wrong place. But anyway, the people that are out there, this is the real deal here, I tell you. Out there in the dirt, in the dust, out there every day, making this place better. You know, out there chucking the solar panels up and building the wind farms and doing all this stuff. These are the people that will solve our energy problems in the future. And it'll be a mix of everything. There is no panacea. There'll be a mix of different types of energy. I'm not here to talk about base load and blah. You can just search for that anytime you like. But this Mica Creek solar farm is a step in the right direction. It's privately funded. Okay, it's probably been underwritten by some sort of subsidy from someone, who knows. But it's going to make a difference to the people of Mount Isa. There's no question of that. And all this garbage you hear about, Adelaide, you know, and the Liberals were down on them. They're all down on the people in South Australia because of all their energy. Well, I've been to South Australia. It's awesome. It really is. They've got some gas-fired power stations for base load. They've got lots of wind. They've got lots of solar. They've got quite a few batteries around the place down there. And it is not in any way a disaster. It's an absolutely great idea, and it's working well. And it's going to work even better. Anyway, that's it for this week. Remember, if you dig the vibe, like and subscribe. And don't forget to keep rocking. T-Rocks out.